Steps in casting process. Steps in casting process. Pattern making. Factors considered here are size of pattern considering all allowances influencing. Then we have to select suitable pattern which suits the application. After then, we have to choose suitable material to make the pattern. Mold and core making. Properties of the casting mainly depends on the mold. While preparing mold, we have to deal with molding sand, its strength, and some other desirable properties. Pouring and solidification. While pouring molten metal in the mold cavity, we have to go through the pouring time, which is major governing factor for the directional solidification of the casting. Then, solidification time decides the strength of the casting. Fettling. It deals with the easy and safe removal of casted product from the mold cavity. Inspection. Finally, we inspect our casted product for various defects. Other important tasks in casting. Gating system design. Riser design. Solidification and cooling time calculation. These all include some simple mathematical calculations. These elements of casting. Flask, a metal or wood frame without fixed top or bottom in which the mold is formed. Depending upon the position of the flask in the molding structure, it is referred to by various names such as cope drag and cheek. Drag, lower molding flask. Cope, upper molding flask. Pattern, it is the replica of the final object to be made. The mold cavity is made with the help of pattern. Core, a separate part of the mold made of sand and generally baked, which is used to create openings and various shaped cavities in the castings. Core prints, for all those castings where coring is required, provision should be made to support the core inside the mold cavity. One of the methods that universally followed is to provide core prints where possible. Chaplets. Chaplets are used to support the cores inside the mold cavity to take care of its own weight and overcome the metallostatic force. Gating system. Gating system paths for the entrance of metal into the mold cavity. It includes pouring basin, sprue, runner, riser, ingate, etc. Pouring basin. A small funnel-shaped cavity at the top of the mold into which the molten metal is poured. Act as reservoir. Prevent slag to enter in the mold cavity by means of skimmer or skim. Walls of pouring basin is made inclined 45 to the horizontal. Sprue, the passage through which the molten metal from the pouring basin reaches the mold cavity. In many cases, it controls the flow of metal into the mold. Runner, the channel through which the molten metal is carried from the sprue to the gate. Ingate, a channel through which the molten metal enters the mold cavity. Types of gate: top gate, bottom gate, parting gate, step gates. Riser, a column of molten metal placed in the mold to feed the castings as it shrinks and solidifies, also known as feed head. Vent, small opening in the mold to facilitate escape of air and gases. Steps in casting process.